So basically, a good quality of enterprise architects is someone who can understand the business, able to go deep dive into the business environment, and with the strong background of the technology concept in their mind. So they can see how the technology itself can help the business to become a strategic advantage.
Lots of people can do that. So what separates the merely good from the very best?
Okay, the good one is not, it can turn the investment of technology into a real return. Because most of the people there, they can spend on technology, but the word investment is very foreign to them. To them, it's just, I got the budget, I need to spend on technology for the business. And they can calculate typical ROI. But an architect is really like the investor of the business. When they invest on the technology, they know how much return they will get for the business.
Okay, so the knowing of the return is because they have all the skills in their head to do all the business side ROI forecasting and the business side ROI calculations.
Yes.
So they behave just like business managers.
Yes, like business investor, like business manager or investment manager. When they look at the particular case, they look at it as an opportunity how the technology itself can bring value to the business.
Besides that, technically, what kind of person do they need to be? Because there are lots of technical people, but only a very few people become architects. Why?
Okay, first they have to have someone who have a passion. Because architect job is not only solving a particular problem, but typically you must have interest into the solving the problem. So not only you want to solve the problem, but you have interest. And the tech interest turn it into a passion. Because the complexity on the solving architecture issue is 80% of human dynamic. So human dynamic is the one that...
So 80% human dynamics?
Yes, human dynamic. Human dynamic means it's more dealing with the office politics, with the human behavior, human rejections, and also a complexity of the enterprise.
So it is not just technically how good you are, but how you can interact with other people most of the time.
Yes, exactly. Because what happened with the technical knowledge or technical know-how or technical experience now become a commodity. So it's no longer someone that people will worship if you are good in the particular technology and area. Because now can be replaced. Because now we already reached the maturity whereby the technology is become a commodity. And this is where the architect now playing a critical role in the enterprise. Because they need someone who can understand the technology and how to apply technology at the right place, right time, and the right context for the enterprise.
Must enterprise architects definitely come from the technical background? Are there possibly enterprise architects that come from business background?
Alright, there are 4 domains of the architecture specialization. In fact 5: business architecture, information architecture, infrastructure architecture, software architecture, and solution architecture. But if you are talking about information architecture, infrastructure architecture, software architecture, and solution architecture, the person must have a technical background. Otherwise, you will be struggling to solve a technical issue. But if you're focusing on the business architecture alone, you're not necessary to come from the technical background, but you need to be trained, you need to be equipped, and you need to be exposed to the technology development. I mean, the person must have a strong interest in the technology. They understand how the technology works, how the program work, how the network work, how the internet work, and and also all the trend in the industry. Like now we're talking about cloud, so the person must know about that concept. Cannot be totally ignorant. I'm a business guy and I become business architect. Is no way.
Sure.
Because the word architect means they have a technology background and they know how to apply it to the business, for the business.
But good enterprise architects are made, not born. So what do you think that means?
Okay.
In your opinion.
Some people are lucky enough. I give myself an example of that because the job that I went through, the exposure that I went through, and also the experience in the multiple project, multiple country, multiple cultures, just come at the right time to enrich my background to become an enterprise architect. But some of them don't have that opportunity. That's why the ITABOK, IT Architecture Body of Knowledge, is to complement the lacking of the people who don't have enough exposure. Because the ITABOK give you the enough bullet, best practices about those people who have done in the various industry, various culture, various project successfully, all the best practices actually already bundled in the ITABOK. architecture body of knowledge. So with the ITA book, if someone going through the courses, learning from the case study, they have enough exposure to see how the multi-dimension or complexity of managing enterprise using a technology.
Okay. So just to summarize what we have said so far, an enterprise architect needs passion, needs to have wide-ranging technical knowledge and interest in the field to solve many different kinds of problems. And above all, must be some kind of business manager, because a lot of the 80% of the problems they face are human processes, human dynamics.
Yes.
Yeah. Any other thing that would help a lot if you had that thing, and to make you a better enterprise architect or make you a good enterprise architect?
I guess it's someone who always show that they want to bring value to the organization, because organization are what we call it today in the context of transformation. So every organization in the world are transforming themselves, because without transforming themselves, they will be out of business. Even the company already 10 years. If they don't transform in the next 2 years, be gone, because now the cycle is short. So the architect is someone who can look into the enterprise, into the business, and have a passion on how to position the business to the next level, understand the landscape of the competition. I mean, understand the industry, understand the political situation of the country, as well as the structure of the management. So it's someone who want to contribute to help the enterprises to move to the next level.
If there is a very junior person, maybe 2 or 3 years out of school here being maybe university, okay, and then the person is on the IT track, and the person has ambition to one day be an enterprise architect, what would be your advice? What kind of specific career advice would you give that person?
Okay, first of all, of course, the person must land in the right job. Right job means, like, it's not that by saying that I'm working 20 years, I have done this, I have done that job. If your job are not in the right context, your experience is not counted.
Sure.
So, but of course, my advice is that for the young graduate, don't look for money first, because most of the time are trapped in the money first. After that, they just realize 20 years later that oops, they are the wrong path. Because I met a couple of them like that. Okay. Secondly, is of course they need to be exposed. Instead of you learn it by yourself for 10 years or 15 years, there are now a set of the training program that can jumpstart. So instead of you go through yourself, you just learn it in the course through the training. Yeah, especially the ITA book part, Architect Body of Knowledge, and of course now got the framework, right, to understand how the structure, the enterprise work. Actually, you can learn from TOGAF. And of course, the next one is on the language. How you define, how do you model the enterprise? There must be a consistent way in terms of the diagramming, in terms of the notation, in terms of the grammar. That's where the Archimate come handy.
So, if a young aspiring enterprise architect or IT person trying to become an enterprise architect does all the things that you said, how much time can it shorten?
Shorten, I would say, now without going through all this, assuming you are on the right job, on the right path, career path, etc., at least you must take 10 years. And the 10 years itself, typically you have already screwed up quite a number of big projects in the enterprises. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, typically you because now Gartner already have statistics that 60-70% IT project fail, and this is the one that are being surveyed. But the reality is that if the project in a couple of million of US dollar, 99.99% likelihood to fail. The chances is very high. So with a proper education, of course now we have a mentoring program, coaching program, it can shorten to 5 years. So
half the time, yeah?
Half the time. And in that half the time itself, they will not screw up too many IT projects. Maybe 1 or 2. It's not all the time.
So basically, this IT body of knowledge and the products that ATD offers is to shorten enterprise architects' learning
and
time.
also increase success of IT project immediately to turn IT spending to investment that bring return.
Okay. Kat, over to you.
In shorten time to become EA and turn investments into return.
Turn spending to investment.
Spending into investment.
Yes. The behavior of the architects when they spend on technology is the behavior of the fund manager when they look at the stock market. They know that when to come in and when to buy, it will go up the price. Compared to a layman term like us, we just follow the news. By the time we buy the stock, next week drop. This is what the most IT people are doing today. They don't understand about that. They just need to spend.
Okay. So you're saying that there has to be the right time to buy technology? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think it's the wrong analogy if you compare with the timing, but they not exactly. I would say the timing is also playing a critical role because sometimes there could be an opportunity cost of delaying a purchase on the technology, and of course making the wrong technology investment too early also disaster. It's going to fail. And then now, of course, the costing about the cost is not talking about million. As a country, it's the billions of dollars if you accumulate all the technology investment or technology spending.